Hey guys, welcome back to Armstrong's Cutting Edge. Today I'm going to be making a 200-hour review on my Cub Cadet Ultima ZT2, which is this guy right here. I bought her about a year ago to start my lawn care business, just because this is all I could afford at the time. For the MSRP was about $4,200, so I figured I'd go with this guy right here. It's got a, show you kind of specs on it real quick. Gotta be careful, it's a crappy day out. Hey, there's my doggo Riggs. But it's mid-February and it's 40 degrees and it's raining and it's probably all gonna freeze by the end of the night, so I figure it's about the best day I can get a video on it. My garage is a little, well, it's my parents' garage, it's a little full right now, so I had to put a tarp over for the winter. But so it's been stored for the last well, since winter, which was in end of November after the fall cleaning season. But yeah, just kind of go off it real quick, just some of the spec stuff. We'll talk about some of the pros and cons. But the ZT2 54-inch it has a 23 it's a 23 horsepower Kawasaki on it. Like I said, it's 54-inch deck. It's got the lights on the front. When I had the bagging unit on it, this is the weight in the front for it. It's a 100-pound weight. I'm trying to think all over it. I took the guards that go over on your spindles there. I took those off, and the reason why I took those off, and like this is kind of one of the cons with the mower. If you see here, it's a divot, and a lot of times what happens is grass, I mean, you try to go through and blow it off every time you can after every, job site or every time you get done mowing, but it just happens. Sometimes when you're in a rush, you don't have the time, and it just cakes up full of grass, especially when you mow that tall grass, and by the time you're at the end of the job, that deck is full of grass. And even when you take the backpack blower, I mean, it gets stuck in there, especially with the cap over everything. It's like you can't even get access to the ash. You have to take the cap off, and I just found it more easy to just take them off and just never put them back on, because for the reason of it's just a pain in the butt. If you're a homeowner, it's probably fine. It's a lot easier to do all that kind of stuff. But when you're trying to run a commercial business and you got to do that every day, yeah, it's not fun. It's no go. It builds up mud, and eventually I was worried about rust possibly happen. So that's why I was like, yeah, let's just take those off. Obviously be careful. Don't get your pant leg wrapped up into that or anything. If you have a bungee cord for your flap over there, which we're going to go on that here in a second with the grass flap. But it's got, I believe it's a 3-gallon gas tank, which is, for a homeowner mower, that's perfect. I mean, if you're doing 10 yards a day, you probably go through about a tank and just about a full tank you'll go through, maybe just a little more, but mainly a full tank. It's got the reservoirs. I think the new ones you buy now, the next year that came out, this is the 2021, the 2022. Actually, this is the 2020 model. The 21 and the 22 model comes where you only got one hydro reservoir, but where this model had the two, but which is fine. But I do like that, so you can change your hydros out. Like the ZT1 has their own, I think it's a built-in reservoir. I think anyway, those hydros on the ZT1s are just meant to last 1,000 hours, and then you have to replace them. But this, I think it's around 1,500, 2,000 hours, just like any other mower. But sorry about that, guys. I got a small cold, and it's a little chilly out, but we're all good. It does come up with this guy right here, this little it's like a little hand wrench. That's to get access to your belts. You undo that and you flip that up, and it gives you access to your belts and whatnot. Right here, we're going to talk about a pro and a con. Actually, I don't even know if there's any pros here. It's more of a con on their grass flap. The pro I'll give is their, I believe that it's the fabricated deck and not the pressed deck, which is nice. But if we're going here, you can see where it's like an open chute. It's not like it comes right out the side. It kind of has a top and whatnot. The con about that is you can't put like a grass flap on. Like, what I mean by that, like one of the advanced chutes, so you can block and mulch and flip it up or whatnot. You're kind of stuck with this, which it does good, but like I said, I have to always run a bungee from here and across my unit just to have that thing hold up when you're cutting thicker grass. But other than that, it's all right. It's not too bad. But like I said, for a homeowner mower, I give this probably, for the price and everything, for just being honest here, I give it a 7 out of 10 homeowner mower. I'm sure the X-Smart Quest or the Skag, I believe it was the Skag Liberty, or one of those mowers there, probably are better than this. They're actually they're probably like $1,000 more than this unit, but I'm sure those ones are a little better deck, just quality built in general. But you're over here on your unit, there's grease inserts, which are where are the grease inserts at? I think they're on here somewhere, but they're on one of these points here. But you want that done about every 50 hours on these units, otherwise they run out dry pretty fast in your casters there, your wheel casters. I do notice something with the muffler is a slight rattle to it at 200 hours. It kind of seemed to start, but it ain't that big of a deal. I gotta change the oil. Last time I changed it was at 134, and I think we're at like 217, which we'll check in a second. Just kind of just overlapping, see if anything I missed. The one of the key factors I love about this mower is the deck. I'm not gonna step on it, well, what the heck. I'll step on it, it's a little wet, but whatever. My butt gets wet. Anyway, so you got the pedal right here, you push up on it, and you can go ahead and select your deck height. So right now it's at the top, which is 4.5 inches. You can actually go all the way down to 1 inch. But all you do is you keep that pedal down. Let's say you're cutting at 3 1/4, and you just let go of the pedal, and you're ready to go. Your parking brake on this is exactly how it's like this. As soon as you bring those handles in, that parking brake is disengaged. It's got little adjusters here, so you can adjust the handlebars wherever you like them. I will say, even compared to your commercial mowers, I prefer these handlebars. The ergonomics on it are just, I don't know, it feels good on your hand, and it's just nice in general that way. That I'll give like a 10 out of 10 as their handles. I'm just trying to think here, just to recap. I'm gonna go over a con that I have, something for you guys to look out for. Thank God my dealer is awesome, and they took good care of me, and they had just covered it under warranty. And I don't know if you can see this on your hydros, was this spring. I'm not sure how everything works. If you guys come across this problem, what I'm gonna it's basically at the end of the year, this last year, something happened to the mower with the hydros. Like, the right side was completely fine. It was the left hydro, which is on this side, it'd lock up. As soon as you pull those handlebars in to go forward, the left side would lock up, and it'd take like 2 seconds, and it'll unlock. Or you'd have to go in reverse first and then forward, and then it was fine. Not sure what the deal is, but from my understanding, he said a spring, and I think he was talking about, the dealer was talking about this spring here, said it broke or something was wrong with it, or stretched out. Not sure what it was. They didn't show me exactly. But apparently that was the issue. As soon as they put a new spring, it'll work fine. You bring the handlebars in, you go forward, no issues. It wouldn't stop you. It wouldn't lock up the tire and then go. It was just bloop. Now it's fine. So yeah, something to keep that in mind. Like I said, with these residential mowers, I mean, they're homeowner units. They're not meant to. You're not supposed to be using them commercial. I used it to get started, but if you can spend the extra, like what I'd recommend, if you can spend the extra $2,000 or $3,000 to get for example, the X-Mark Radius, their entry line of commercial mowers, I think that is the better route to go. It will last you probably a heck of a lot longer. It can take more of a beating, and just all around, it's meant to get you started. This, unless you can't for some reason get a loan, or vice versa, can't afford the X-Mark Radius or the other company mowers that they have their entry commercial, then you got to do what you got to do. And I tell you what, like I said, this March I'm actually picking up my new mower, which is the X-Mark Laser Z. It's the E series, not the X, but for what I do, the Laser Z E series would be just perfect. Those are around 11,000 with tax and everything. It's a 52-inch, but that's a video for another time when I get her in. But like I said, this guy, she started my dream of starting a lawn care company, and it just goes to show you anything's possible. The belt's been great. It's for 200 hours or whatever, it's in still great shape. I think I can get another 150 out of it. I don't know what the limit is on these belts, but I hope another 150 and that should be good. I'm actually planning on maybe selling this unit and buying maybe another X-Mark, but it's always good to have a second mower on hand just in case, you know, anything can happen. So nowadays it seems like our dealerships, they're 3 weeks to a month and a half out with dealer support and everything. So if you got lawn care clients and you need to do a repair, you could potentially get screwed. So it's always good to have backup. But besides the point, what another thing I recommend eventually, if, like I said, if you're gonna run this guy commercial, is I've gone probably through 3 air filters. But to be honest, just for these Kawasaki engines, since they seem to get really hot, is I would buy the commercial air filter kit, which is about $250 online, I think, from the Kawasaki website. One of those websites would have it, but I recommend that. If you're running it all day, it's going to be a lot more efficient on your engine and your engine lifespan. I will say one of the cons is the oil. The first like 50 to 75 hours, it seemed like there was no oil burning, but now I seem that there's no leaks anywhere, but it does seem like I am having a little bit of an oil like burn. Like it just seems like I got to top it off every month a little bit because there is a slight oil burn. But other than that, it's not a huge deal. Just something to keep in mind. Keep an eye on your, especially if you got the Kawasaki, just keep an eye on that. I do like how the oil drain is down below. You just take a wrench or a crescent wrench and just undo that off. It's great just to have a pan down there. The engines, other than the little rattle I have here now, is actually pretty quiet. It purrs like a kitten. I do love the Kawasaki engine. But trying to think, oh, the unit, now I flip this over, and I did put the battery in. I take it out just so the battery doesn't go bad in the cold. But I do put it in because I haven't started it since, what was it, the November there. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a cold start here and see how she starts up after basically a cold winter here. But one of the downfalls was they had these plastic, if you want to call them plastic, they were like a shock absorber. They were terrible. Let me tell you, you felt everything in your body. And I just simply went to the junkyard, took off from an old mower, the old rider tractor springs, and I just took off the plastic things and just bolted those down. They have a spot to bolt it down, and it probably made my ride, I wouldn't say it isn't much comfier, but about 25% better. They do make the platforms you can buy for these units on like eBay and Amazon that have the adjustable suspension seat, and you can just install that seat right on top of it. But for the time being, I'm like, heck with it. I'll just slap some springs on, and they seem to do a lot better. Unit does got a cup holder, which most of them all do. But I think that's everything to talk about on this unit. Like I said, the grass flap's kind of a pain in the butt. You can't buy the advanced chute or nothing like that for it. You could probably customize something, but you're not going to find anything online. The bagging system, I don't have it installed right now, but I'm trying to think of some of the bad things I had happen. I've had where the plastic bagging chute part right here basically broke off, and I had to make gotta be careful with this ice, but I did make a bracket so that could stay on a little better and not fall off anymore, because I whacked it on a tree or something like that and it just ripped it out. And I'm like, great, so now I had to make a new kind of bracket for the plastic to clip onto my deck. But other than that, just don't be hitting trees with your chute and you'll be fine. I will say, I'm just trying to imagine the unit. It's a cheap, I mean, $600, which is a lot, but it's pretty cheap. I mean, there's nothing to it. The hose is like a flexi kind of, it flexes the hose. And it's hard to see when you're full. You almost got to look at that hose to watch it. It's a clear hose. And you just got to, just keep check, because that thing fills up so fast. And I got the triple bagger. If you're looking at getting a double, don't. That double fills up way too quick that you just probably wouldn't even ever use it, because it's almost too fast. The bags, they're only like a bushel. They're really small. They're not like the commercial units. I don't know what the bushel size is on the commercial bags, but they're a lot bigger. But let me tell you, just spend the extra, what is it, $100 or $150, $200, whatever the heck it is nowadays. Grab the triple, because it fills up quick, man, like real quick. So that's one thing I'll talk about on the bagging system. I did make a homemade stripe kit. I'll save that for another video there, because this is already getting a little lengthier than I want. But other than that, let's go ahead and do a cold start on it. just stepping up here because there's a lot of ice down there. I just don't want to slip. But go ahead and pull the choke, put the key in, and we should be good to go. Throttle's all the way down. Why don't you listen to that? Give her a second to warm up. But so yeah, that's the Cub Cadet Ultima ZT2. Great mower. Oh, another one quick con right here. You can see the LED lights here in the front. At 100 hours, they actually both sides burnt out. Don't know why, but the dealer warranty covered it for me, and they're back on. But they had to put whole new ones in. Not sure why they went out, but they did. Like I said, it's a homeowner's unit. If you're just doing your own house, or maybe you know, you and maybe got a family member next door, great unit. This yard, it's about an acre, and I get it done in about 30 minutes. So less than that. Actually, that's like with weed whacking, but it's about 30 minutes or whatever. So so yeah, it's not much else to say. It's a good unit. I'm not if you're using this unit commercially, you're lucky. If you're lucky to get 500 hours out of her, because let's be honest, you're hitting stuff. You don't know what's in people's yards, especially new customers. So you just got to be careful, especially if you're using. If you got employees, you got to buy the commercial units. That ain't gonna last. They'll beat the heck out of it, and you're out of a mower. So for the most part, I'm gonna put the throttle up, hear what it sounds like. I don't know if you can hear that sound of the engine or the throttle. It sounds like there's something loose, but go ahead. The thing on the back, that's the bracket for the bagging system. It took me a little bit to install it, but if you leave the weight on the front, the bagging mount, it takes, I don't know, every time you put the bagger back on, after that, it literally takes me about 3 minutes or something, maybe 5 to 3 minutes. So it ain't bad. The ZT2 does come with the armrest, and that's about it, really. It does have a adjust. Don't know if you heard me, but it does have the adjustable seat on the, basically pull that flap and allows you to adjust the seat in and outwards. But yep, that's gonna be it for this video. Hey guys, I kind of accidentally ended the video a little too early, but the last couple things I want to abbreviate on, things I kind of forgot about to add into the video on the mower outside, especially for those that are buying the mower. Cut quality for the price and everything it's great, absolutely great. It cuts great, doesn't leave stragglers. The only recommendation I do have is to buy different mower blades. The mower blades that come on the Cub Cadet, the first ones, or any of the Cub Cadet blades, I've tried multiple. They're all pretty junky. I'd go straight to buying Oregon blades or any other company's blades. Just Cub blades, it's a no for me. The other thing is the hour meter on it. I forgot to show, it was 217 hours on it, but the cool thing about it, if your air filter gets clogged on that as well, or your air filter is not as, it's not being efficient or whatever, it's not getting enough airflow, the little hour meter will actually tell you to change air filters. So it's a cool little feature they have, as well as if it seems like your oil's getting bad in it, or oil seems junk, or just something wrong with it, it'll also tell you needs oil change. So just a couple little things that's cool, like the little digital thing, it'll just change over and say, oh, need air filter clean air filter or something, or it'll be like change oil, or trying to think if there's something else I've seen, low, like if you're just sitting there running, it'll say battery low, or just stuff like that. If you got a low battery, it's pretty cool. Just keep watching. That's all I've seen. I haven't seen anything too crazy or engine failure or anything like that, but just two little things I want to elaborate on real quick. But other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. So leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.